He's actually body blocking.
That's just
Oh,
standing
this is a
there.
goner.
That is nice.
Nicely done.
That is nice. I will have to remember to try to copy that. And, I mean, you know, it's possible.
I think he actually fissured hoping that it would block on its own and then realized that it didn't. And then just walked in there, which was a really cool heads-up
Very
play.
nice.
But yeah, very nicely done by Jotum. And first blood goes to DP, and it goes to the Ember Spirit, no less, which is like the hero that you really don't want to give first blood to.
My nut's invisible here. Just
Did you just get out of a cold shower or something?
No.
Okay. Sorry. I'm going to stop now.
Trying to talk about the game, Andy.
I'm not going to go full
Serious
Sunspan.
guy.
It's hard not to. I just...
It's a funny name.
Yeah, middle lane is pretty much shaping up how we would expect. Both heroes on 10 CS. It's more or less going to be G pushing out the waves constantly. And there's going to be an invisible ogre here. G's going to be in some trouble. Cold Snap Honey is taking the creep wave, but there's no Crypt Storm mana.
There's the just in case of
Sunstrike.
missed. One more bonk. Ogre McGee picks it up. 1-1. I mean, Ogre's great at those kind of rotating ganks.
Well, the main thing is that the ward that's actually bottom lane doesn't see the rune at all. So they didn't know what rune it was. And an Invis and a Haste are probably the only two that I think would secure a kill on G in this particular game. Because it needs to be a rune where you get in range to stun without him being seen. What is this?
Yo, try to backstab, but he's stuck in the trees without tangles.
He's dead.
Oh, wow. He's just going to get punched to death by a fish.
At least
it's a cage match.
That is like the epitome of unfortunate.
Yeah, giving a free kill to the off lane.
I mean, he had a ward there, so he saw him walk up the hill, but he didn't know exactly where he was. He just had some semblance of an idea.
That's boots for Tidehunter. So do you just, like Tidehunter Brown Boots, rush a blink, or do you get mana boots first?
I think it depends on the lane. A lot of times, I actually find myself...
Mid lane. Fissure block. Gonna be perfect. Hani's stuck there, and he's got trading right hits. He summons a Force Spirit, but... Oh, actually, he runs to the left. G, easy Crypt Swarm. Max range.
Oh my god, he's
Lost
gonna...
regen is good enough. I think Hani just denies himself here, right?
One more. Uphill miss! Uphill miss!
Oh my god! And he's just gonna deny himself. Buys
Space
TP.
created.
Here comes a Fisher. Long Ranger.
Oh, but
the creeps aren't there.
The creeps are pulled.
Kill me, creeps.
Oh,
kill me, creeps.
Shots.
Oh, so unlucky.
Oh, the perfect stacking timing. What a play.
That was pretty foul.
He actually got hit too quickly. Like, he got hit by one of the creeps, and then the concussive shot hit him, which doesn't really do much damage at level 1. I think if he had been a little bit slower, actually, then he would have ended up getting the deny. But yeah, unfortunate. But at the same time, you could also argue that it was unfortunate that G missed his auto attack, because that would have killed him.
Yeah, true.
And then the Quas gave him enough regen to where he lived through the one that actually landed. Dota 2, man. What a game. I don't think I've ever seen that particular situation happen like one time.
Yeah.
Like uphill miss into attempted denial, which
into perfect creep stacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My net's gotta be careful here. Perfect fissure block. There you go. It is. He's now stuck there. My nuts are exposed.
It's not
dead now,
the
right?
first time.
Maybe not. Honey coming in with Sunstrike. Cold Snap here. Ace from the river. I think he has a gush, perhaps.
Is there a Ravage? Is there a Ravage?
No, it's
He's
minute
too fast.
5.
Oh, he's only level 3.
Yeah. It's 5 minutes in.
He got a kill.
Yeah, but he got a kill on a really low level support.
DP is level 6.
DP's mid.
Yeah, but she's alone.
What? I'm so lost. I'm not even sure what you're trying to say anymore, Ted. She is alone, but she's also a ghost.
He's gonna stack up these ancients.
Is he gonna try to clear?
Look at that one creep.
What do you feel about the 1 value point to Gush? I think he might have actually leveled it up as he was trying to get a kill earlier. But
It's one of those things that you do when you feel like sitting in your lane isn't like maybe as viable, and you could potentially get a kill on a very squishy mid hero. Like snipers, death prophets, even evoker if it's exort and you don't have any points in a Wex are all pretty gankable, I would say. So having a value point into Gush, especially with like exort damage and a Forge Spear and a Cold Snap, it could very easily just transition into a quick kill. So I think it's something that you should only really do if you're playing in like a competitive team environment where you know that you have some sense of cohesion and you can set up the ganks. Otherwise, just going like the Anchor Smash Kraken build is way more stable. Because even 1 point in the Gush, it's like that's half your mana pool basically gone. And ideally, you want to be able to Anchor Smash like 4 or 5 times if you want to even try to attempt like a stack or something like that. So it's like if you Gush, you got to go back to base unless you have Arcane Boots, which he does not.
we are experiencing packet loss.
Volvo, please.
Please.
Man, the servers have actually been not great lately.
You could put it that way, Andy. That's
Not
the polite way
great.
of putting it, I would say.
I mean, I was playing a couple of games on US West, or EU West, and one game was like perfect. Next game, 70% packet loss. And it just feels...
Is it because we have too many players on the server? Is that
I
how
heard it
works?
was actually like there were so many people playing that the servers were just like crushed. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
I would just question the fact that the number of unique players a month that it shows hasn't changed that much in a few months. What the hell is what? All of a sudden we're all changing.
I don't know.
You know, a couple of million people say, hey, let's all play at the same time now. I don't buy it, man. Something is up with the servers. It's fishy and they need to fix it. That's it.
That's it.
According
Ted
to
has spoken.
Shane, yesterday has had the highest amount of players online.
Yeah, but,
Ever.
but not by like... It's not like, for instance, if you take the Draenor launch, right? I believe they had 600,000 subs. Then Draenor comes out and they have 7.4 million subs. Something
No,
stupid
it
like
wasn't that drastic.
No, it was because a lot of people just weren't playing. They were like, oh, I'll sub when the thing
Maybe,
comes out.
Ted,
What?
that was the last straw that broke
Broke the internet?
the camel's back.
Okay, but
Is that right?
That is good.
Damn,
straw
I
that
got
broke
it.
the
I got
camel's
it.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But you said the last straw that broke the camel's back. Like that's the last straw and the straw that broke the camel's back. They're both the same things.
It was redundancy.
You're compounding. Oh, here they're going again. Let's talk
So
about
maybe I hit one bird with two stones. Fuck.
this. Two birds with one
Fuck.
stone. You'll get there, dude. It's fine.
English is hard. It's true.
Bear in mind, none of these sayings make a damn piece of sense, so don't worry. About it.
It's fine.
No, two birds with one stone.
Two
makes
birds with one
sense.
stone makes sense. It's a hell of a shot. Anyway, yeah, the servers are fucked up. You know, I don't know what it is. I'm sure they're working on it. I mean, geez, whenever they've had server trouble in the past, Valve have always fixed it like super fast. They've got like Zoid and guys like that that like fix. So it's clearly something is up.
Well, they don't do their own hosting, do they? I mean, obviously they have people who do it for them, so it's not necessary. I mean, they have to know, right? In the
This is a
meantime,
dead
G,
death
ooh,
buffet.
really
But
nice
this-
defensive
wait
fissure
a
right there.
second. There's the just in case is
Nice.
gonna miss.
Woo!
One more punch.
The triple
One more
remnants.
punch.
The miss!
Oh my God
Nice,
Almighty!
it's been returned. Justice has been served. The Dota RNG gods.
BZZ came in with triple remnant and he cleaned up a Witch Doctor. Barely as well, but he made the TP as a safe lane. Probably going to miss like 4 kills. Is that TP even worth it?
I mean,
Okay,
I thought for sure he was dead.
you
Like,
mean
The Death
DP,
Prophet, yeah,
yeah.
you see the auto attack in the air, like
was a great
from
fissure.
downtown. It was like the fadeaway jump shot at the buzzer.
It was.
and it like hits the rim,
Yeah.
and you're just like, I hate everything. Oh, Ogre, gonna get a stun off here. Sadoy, get the Firefly. Is gonna throw out a lasso. He only has enough mana for one more sticky, but it should be more than enough to get this
Oh, that
kill.
stick. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
It's
dead.
really nice for Batrider to get the kill like that, because normally you assume the Bat doesn't do anything to the Blink, but being able to pick up that kill before the Blink, it's pretty nice.
Well, they didn't have any vision. Like, I think the only wards that are down right now are sentries on the
Yeah.
side of Alliance. So their vision is definitely lacking, at least at this particular point in time.
Oh, wow. Hanny, be careful.
So I do want to ask you, Andy, because I don't play Ember Spirit much, or at all.
Okay.
When you have a very decent start, his CS is off the charts, 51 and 28. With a lot of other heroes, you go like, I could get a Midas, I could go for a greedier build, but I've never really seen Ember Spirit going anything aside from Phase, Drums, Battle Fairy.
My personal opinion on Midas for Ember is that the whole point of hitting high level is not just to level your ulti, it's to be able to get max of your base skills, right? So Searing Chains, Sleight of Fist, Flame Guard. You want those abilities maxed even before you max your ult. Obviously, you get 1 point for the value, but you don't really need the levels that bad, and if you just want to get the highest level possible to make sure that your Sleight of Fist does like a decent amount of damage and has low cooldown, then you want a damage item. You don't
Okay.
want a Midas for attack speed because
Yeah.
it doesn't do anything to the Sleight of Fist. You just want to hit hard. So
no,
it's
no,
like
my-
counterintuitive in a way.
My question isn't particularly about Midas, but more so on like, is there any alternative items since you could get them quicker, perhaps they're more effective? Like, can you just straight up rush a Battle Fairy, or do you want the drums for the raw health and mana and whatever
I think the
else?
drums are always solid, especially during early games like this, where you can just walk into a Tidehunter with Flame Guard. The thing is, you don't even have to attack the hero.
Yeah.
So BZZ is not drawing tower aggro right now. He's just waiting it out. The Creep Wave's going to die soon. He gets off of Searing Chains. Ace is not level 6. Sunstrike's coming down here. Will hit on BZZ. He might
he's
go
dead.
down. He's going to be forced to sell. He's still dead.
He's dead.
Still dead.
Oh, man.
So that's... I mean, if he didn't have drums,
That was pretty
he
funny.
would have died a lot sooner. Hani, in the meantime, getting caught out in the woods. Fissure's going to stun him for a little bit of time, and double TP reaction coming in from the side of Alliance. Going to hear a lasso go off onto Loda, but he
they're all
does
dead.
have Sphere after it wears off. Sadoy, he's in Firefly, but he's stuck. Hani has already died here.
Oh my
Loda's
God.
actually going to be trading his own life here to the Bat Rider. Sudoi going to be dropping soon after to Ake. And my nuts are in some serious trouble right now.
Yeah, your nuts
they
ran
are
up a
going
hill,
to die.
and they still
No,
died.
my nuts ran uphill.
No, it was my nuts.
They didn't run anywhere. They rolled uphill.
They kind of
too
lumbered
much.
up hills.
Too much.
Rolled.
Those are very tanky
sorry.
nuts.
If
but
you
it
can
was-
roll your nuts, something's going
But honestly,
wrong.
I thought that would go quite a bit better for Alliance. The problem was there was no real synergy and follow-up behind the sphere. So it's like Loda threw out a sphere. Sudoi got low, but he didn't die until Loda died, basically. So it was like a sphere down, you still get 3 kills, you're diving a tower, you lose 2 heroes, but I'd still say VP are happy with that.
I underestimated how much damage a level 1 DP ult did. But since he kind of just stood around the whole fight in trees,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, I'll keep right-clicking people.
I think
Yeah.
the other thing about what you were saying about Ember Spirit is that when you get those items on him, it works so well that it's kind of like, well, what else do I really, what else would you go? What else could you think of going that would be better than Phase Drum's Battle Fury?
The thing about just going naked Battle Fury is that your HP and general stats are very low.
Yeah.
And the regen isn't enough to necessarily keep you in fighting shape. It's enough to farm, but it's not enough to fight with. And Sudoi, he's going to be getting caught here in the
God.
river. Look at
Everything.
it go, indeed.
Yep.
Sunstrike's even going to be there as Hani secures that. So
It just-
Satisfying.
It just feels somewhat wrong that, like, you're very far ahead, but there's nothing greedier that you could go for. Apart
because
from
the
your
Ember
base
Spirit
build.
can still fight. That's the thing. It's like heroes like AM typically don't contribute until they have 2 items, whereas Ember can still
Okay.
contribute to teams with
So,
1.
like, imagine a gyrocopter that gets, like, I don't know, first blood, triple kill, gets like 1,000 extra gold.
Doesn't miss a creep hit for 10 minutes.
Right. Like, there's something he could get to make him more effective.
I mean, if you had a start that good, you would probably play it as greedy as possible, and you would go Midas on a gyro, but you wouldn't go Midas on an Ember.
For Ember, for the reason that you explained.
Right.
Yeah. Fair
So
enough.
I feel as though he just offers too much to kind of leave him in that passivity role where you basically have, what do you buy first, a Perseverance? Do you buy like a Claymore? He doesn't even have Sleight of Fist.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like the build-up doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, especially with BZZ being able to contribute so much on a hero like Ember.
Is it because, like, for the early ganks, the Flame Guard is really what's going to do it? Your Flame Guard just run in there, charge about, like he did to the title. It didn't work out, but it could have.
Yep. It's crazy. I mean, more or less, unless they dump everything on him, his Flame Guard's going to be doing serious work in the team fights. And it's
In
just
lane,
another target they have to focus.
My nuts, perhaps in a little bit of trouble. The bat reveals himself to the tower. The gank will miss, but they're going to get a T1 tower out of this. Meanwhile, Alliance also spending a ton of time because Hani was standing behind Loda in the bottom lane trying to catch out Straggler. But it seems like Virtus Pro got the better of the 2 trades.
I think D's Nuts would have been a good name as well, as opposed to my nuts.
That's
It would have
true.
been D's Nuts.
It's too gangsta.
It is.
What about your nuts?
My nuts are pretty gangster anyway.
Jesus. All right. So
What about
it's really hard to follow those up.
That
you know?
nuts.
Stupid.
It's just like you make like a my nuts joke, and then it's just silence, and
Kills
everyone's
it.
like, "How do I?"
Cast dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
So Ace
tough.
actually has Ravage, which is good. Exorcism on the side of VP is DP is actually level 11 as well. So that means level 2 Exorcism is what? It's base spirit wise like 3 times better than level 1. Yep, exactly 3
Jesus.
times. So 8 more spirits. The damage output is completely insane. Also a really good deterrent for Sphere. I think we kind of failed to mention that if you actually Sphere a DP with her ult on,
That's a very good point.
it's spooky. Like, you take a lot of damage. If you actually go in and try to man fight,
Yeah.
you're going to have to worry about Skywrath ulti, potentially a fissure, and then you just died Exorcism.
Yeah.
It's like someone's opened the
And-
Ark of the Covenant up in here.
Yeah, it's like no one really is going to be able to soak damage for you either, because the Tidehunter has to blink behind the sphere, Ogre can't go in sphere, and Witch Doctor has to be outside of it to channel ulti. So you're basically eating the entire Exorcism if you initiate on G.
You know, until... Oh, looks like we're going to see a little fight.
Ouchie.
Ace. Okay, he gets out of there. Until we see Tidehunter get that Blink Dagger, there is actually no initiation from Alliance. So VP could do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from the Chrono, but you explain why jumping in and chronoing is such a dangerous thing for Loda to do.
I mean, he has to, but he has to hit, like, honestly,
Like, two, at
he
least
has
3.
to catch G before he ultis, and my nuts getting some steering chains here. Fissure to follow it up. Sunstrike gonna land on BZZ, but he does pick up the kill on the Ogre.
This is looking like VP in control. Where do you see Alliance's comeback here? They just need the Void to get farm and the Invoker and kind of the Tide too.
I mean, that's the game plan, but VP are basically going through the motions right now. This is what we had expected from their composition, is just make sure that we get the tier 1s down. That's like the most important thing. They still have the safe lane to work on, But once that tower is dead, opens up Roshan opportunities. You have Batrider around Rosh, which is like phenomenal, being able to find a hero like that. So they should be able to secure it pretty quickly thereafter if they can get that last tier 1. But Ace is still very far from a Blink Dagger. So Alliance
This
feeling like
needs
they
to
have
work.
to smoke, yeah.
The thing is, this war saw them smoke. So Virtus Pro, I mean, they're
They've been
very
out to
prepared,
this
but the
Chrono.
Chrono still goes on. BZZ's going to eat a Sunstrike. They are going to get 1 kill, but is that worth the Chrono?
I
mean,
would
sure-
say so.
On the Ember, yeah, definitely.
Right, I mean, but when Ted said this needs to work, it needed to do more than that, I think.
But they need to kill him and now get an objective. That's what they need to do.
Right. Also, I think the most important thing is actually Ty clearing the stack. That is the thing. Unfortunately, taking Gush earlier makes him having 1 less point of Kraken Shell, and I don't think you can actually tank this big stack yet.
Yeah, 3 points is what you need to actually reduce the damage to 0, or very close to.
Right.
So you otherwise take way too much, and there are too many
What if
ancients there
Ogre
to
McGee gives
actually
him
do
a
it.
bit of the old bloodlust?
That doesn't really do much.
He could do a bit more punching.
I mean, honestly, you would imagine hitting somebody with a giant ship anchor would do a little bit more damage. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, only 73. Like, numerical value of getting hit by a boat anchor, 73 damage.
Dang.
It grows stronger over time.
That's true. I mean, if it gets like rusty, you just get tetanus, right?
Yeah.
And then it just applies a dot, and then you gotta go to the doctor. I'm just saying.
You have to go back to the fountain, see the doctor before you can carry on.
Yeah.
Or you get lockjaw. I think that's the side effect of.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds unpleasant. I've got to say. If I'm gonna
Not
get
being
it.
able to open your mouth.
Yeah, or close
great.
it, depending. If you're in the middle of talking when it kicks in, you're walking around catching flies all day. They got a kill here.
Yeah, Sadoy, he's got Blink and Force. They're looking for Loda. There is no Sphere right now.
They could
Looks
catch
like
a
Sadoy is
wizard. The
actually
wizard
just
was
gonna go back.
catchable.
Yeah, but they only had 2. And I think they actually saw that there were more there.
I like to see VP actually go into this pit.
This stack.
Or
Here
not
we
pit.
go. If they could get this stack, that'd be huge.
Yeah, Ake getting chased down by BZZ. Ace ate an entire Mystic Flare there, but still not dead. Ake gonna die under the tier 2. Where is the rest of Alliance right now?
Oh,
Looks
nice
like they actually
ravage.
TP
One more
bottom
punch.
instead. BZZ.
Yes.
He actually
Well
tries to go
played.
to a Remnant, but unable to.
And now My Nuts finds Yo and John.
Well, that was a smart stun right there.
Oh,
He's a
Sadoy.
dead man. He's a dead ogre.
you know, would you use Exorcism to clear this?
The tower?
No, the
No, the
stack.
ancient stack.
Oh,
I don't think
hell
they need
yes.
to, do they? It's all so low.
Oh yeah, it's a party over here.
Although
Why
they
are
have,
running
they have a really bad ancient killing team.
They are in
I mean,
trouble.
this is all-
Skywrath needs to be careful here. They actually think they're going to get it, actually.
Yeah, there you go. I pop
Oh,
Exorcism
wow.
for this.
Emergency exorcism.
Oh, but the Chrono's gonna be there. He's going to Sadoy. The
Oh my
Sunstrike's gonna
God.
come. The Fissure though, and the Spooky Ghost not doing enough damage. He running forward here, doing a ton of damage. Oh, the
That's
Bongo!
nice.
It is not the real
The
place you want.
Yules, though.
Okay, he gets out of there.
They might just... No, they didn't get the Maledict off.
They're fine. They're fine. And the regen's going to come back in very soon. Here comes the Ember Sphere. He's going to pick up the Tie Hunter on the back line here. He chases a little bit more. Ake in a ton of trouble. Searing Chain coming off cooldown. Searing Chain and the rest of the Flying Remnant should actually get the kill. The Bongo, no bounce.
Yeah, when
no
there's a
target.
no bounce.
And Ake's dead.
Oh, he might not be the Flame Guard war off here. Oh, just clipped him. Yep.
Bats.
Nice.
BCC still going for more Fissure coming off cooldown soon. He could slight for the very last tick of damage. He slight dodges it. BZZ. He's diving tier 3s already this one.
That's nice.
Yep.
Oh,
There's your
not in
phase
his happy
drums
place.
doing work. Yeah, this isn't looking good for Alliance. They're
Getting
all
haunted
dead.
and burned to death.
There is still 3 big Ancient Creeps, but I guess that doesn't really matter when you just got team wiped.
VP wiping Alliance there, and they're still... You know what the funny thing is? They act the same when they're winning as they do when they're losing.
They don't
which
say
is
anything.
Silent sort of coordination. I don't know how they do
Calculated.
it. Do it all with pings.
Telepathic, man. I call it.
I think they, or they communicate in a higher pitched tone than my old ears can hear.
What are you saying?
Maybe
He's
they've been
like,
shouting the whole game. It's just off the frequency for you.
Sure, fair enough.
so for VP, it's pretty much stick to the game plan, continue your aggression. Without Ravage and without Sphere, the capability of Alliance of killing anyone right now is fairly low. Hani's impact has not really been tremendous thus far. And a lot of that, I think, has to do with the fact that even though he's only died a handful of times, like once or twice, it's more just because he's only level 11, right, at 20 minutes in. Honestly, on an Invoker, you want to be higher level than this at this stage in the game. You want to be able to get like a decent meatball combo going. You want to be able to use your Force Spears to push. You want to be working on Necro Book, but he's actually Ake going to be dying here.
Jesus.
They might even get a 2 for 0 special here.
Yeah, this is a...
The Ogre is going to be drawn back in with the lasso. Just going
It's
to
a
chase him
bug
down.
off. It's a bug off in the mid lane here.
Yeah, this warding is like really solid too from VP. Like there was one ward that just faded on the high ground about there. Yeah.
Yep.
And that was basically just allowing them to go in like repeatedly. And when you give a Bat Rider like freedom of vision, it's just game on, right? Like you just find openings and then you just transition into Roshan because all the tier 1s are dead.
And then the jungle gets farmed up by the Bat Rider. Virtus Pro have complete map dominance. I mean, we generally don't see Ember Spirit fight so early and so effective at fighting. But yeah, he's been doing a ton of
Ember is super legit early, man. I don't know why people think that he needs to farm like 3 Battle Furies before he can
He
contribute.
really doesn't.
The late game, the red numbers.
The thing is, if you fight, you get that stuff sooner.
True.
Like, I mean, you could just go and farm for 30 minutes, but I don't know. Like Andy says, when you're playing, especially if you're someone like a Witch Doctor, and a giant ball of flame shoots out of the woods at you and pins you in place with a burning bowler and then chops your head off. It's a legit strat, Lumi.
I agree.
Early punching.
Decapitation confirmed, legit strat here. on
Kappa
Dreamleague.
was totally dictated.
What? That took me a second.
Wait, is he going for eggs?
Who is?
Honey? I think that's interesting.
Looks like it is.
I mean, ideally you want Ags at 17 because that's 4 levels of Invoke, and that's having your max Exort.
I mean,
things
at
like
this
that.
rate, he might get it when he goes to 17. No, the game's
The
not
wizard
going
is
well.
hiding from the flaming man.
I mean, he's 2 levels lower than the safe laner, and that's with him going Midas. Granted, he got the Midas after Treads. Again, like his levels are really the thing that's really important here.
He sees him, no. He does not.
He's just waiting for that smoke gang to come in, but does he know? Seems like he does. Too many people are missing off the map.
Yeah, he's like,
This
I'm
is actually,
suspicious.
yeah, it's a little bit suspicious, but I would say this is less obvious than most smoke ganks.
Because they could be doing Ancients together right now, these 4. But
Well,
jump, the chrono, oh miss! He jumps back in a panic moment, BCC.
Oh, wow.
Well, he has 60 seconds to think about that.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
I don't think he saw that coming.
No.
You know what I bet
Oh.
happened is like he actually clicked and like too close to the other spirit.
Yeah.
Instead of just clicking back to the main one, because you go to the last spirit, right? No matter what. If you have 2 spirits out, you eat them both. You go to the one you click near, and he just didn't click far enough, and then he just went to the wrong one.
Wait, hold on. Can VP take Rax here? You take a tier 2 tower for free.
Do they have ghosts?
Yeah,
In
Ghosts
4
is-
seconds?
In 4
Level
Yeah.
3
seconds.
exorcism and no sphere.
I mean, there is you're walking up high ground against Ravage,
yeah.
but still, you
I
have
would
spooky
say it's
ghosts.
still kind of tough.
VP is really big.
It's got
Yeah.
heart. Jeez. I mean, I'm definitely gonna take a crack at
Yeah,
it.
screw it. I mean, here's what I would do. If Bat Rider can get someone and you kill him, then you can do it.
Oh, they're backing off because Alliance doing a smart thing, pressuring tier 2 as well. You know, Alliance playing really well. They got a tier 1, they got an Ember Spirit, and they essentially traded tier 2 when they're down on Chronosphere.
That's experience right there, I think.
Yeah, good shot calling going on right now here from Alliance. Like minimizing the damage, essentially. Because there's only a 1 tower lead right now for VP, which given their lineup, you would expect them to have a tower lead, more or less. They've been playing aggressive, they've been pushing the whole game. They now have their eyes set on the final tier 2. And I think Sphere should be up about the time that they would decide to kill this or go high ground. So it's about 20 seconds off. And that just means that, again, Alliance need both of their big ultis to fight right now. But if they win, like one team fight, and the Void gets a little bit more items, then I think suddenly you don't necessarily need to fight around Ravage and Sphere. And plus, once you get to level 16...
Invoker is very close to Ags as well. Can you just check
Yeah.
Void's items for me real quick? Sorry, we're in the middle of a fight. It can wait.
BKB Mask of Madness is all he got. He doesn't have enough go for buyback, and they're going to do a slow siege and play around the Aegis as well as Heart on G. And it looks like he's going to try to jump in, uses the BKB. They throw everything onto G.
That's nice.
But here's the thing, though. He does not have Exorcism on his way back. They need to Ravage him. Oh, but it cancels
that
everything.
cancel.
My nuts burned up right now, and they do repel them. I guess it looks like Virtus Pro is going to wait around for Exorcism, but it's going to be 2 minutes before they have it. Are they going to look for a pick? This particular high ground ward sees everything, so Virtus Pro's Bat Rider has not been able to actually get some key jumps.
That was a really nice flame break as well from Sadoy. That was like top 10 flame breaks. $1 million flame break. You know.
I think a slightly preemptive Witch Doctor ult maybe invited it, teased it
Nah,
out.
you got to kill him.
Yeah.
You
This
just
is
have to kill him.
Very awkward Aghanims on the Invoker, because he's got level 1 Invoke with Aghanims on.
The other thing is too is a lot of it could just be for the mana cost. Like he level 1 Invoke I think costs 80 mana.
Yep.
If you
It's
don't
free
have
now.
Yeah. If you don't have it, but I mean the next couple of levels he's just going
Yeah.
to be putting points into Invoke. So he's got 3 points. That means he can, for 1 level, put an extra point into like Wex or something, and then the next 3 he's just dumping right into Invoke, and then he'll have it at 17. So I still think it'll work out okay. The biggest problem for him is since they're on defense right now, the majority of the team is kind of close proximity. He's having to share a lot of experience with other people, which is not what you want at all. And a lot of the reason why you buy Midas is to make sure that you can just stay ahead. That way, if you ever get into this spot, you're already like got your max invoke, you're using all your spells and things like that. But he has definitely not had the best game so far. He's still 3rd highest on net worth, highest on his team, which is good.
Yeah, steals a little bit of Ties Ancients. Not bad, not bad. What's his next item?
Honestly, I still think like Necrobook is really good, just for giving you push potential. Hex is strong.
Hex
Like being able to hex the bat when he blinks in. Being able to hex follow up on a no BKB Death Prophet. I still feel like that's a really solid choice as well.
I mean,
Sidoi.
they've got comeback potential here because they've got Void, haven't they? But it is going to be difficult for them.
I don't think Virtus Pro ideally would give them the time to make that comeback. They're going to try yet another push. I guess you go down the mid lane now, right? Like, Exorcism's back up. You got everything you need. No Aegis this time, but...
That's the thing. I honestly think they can win a fight. I do think they can win a fight.
Well, the last fight, I think VP kind of had the luxury of just saying, okay, we'll sack G 1 time, and then after that, we'll just decide not to fight. But if you don't have an Aegis, then you just lose a hero for that long. It just means that unless you're sticking together on the side of VP to try to go for picks, you're not really going to have the same kind of map influence. So this push is more important for VP than the previous.
Oh, looks like Lasso is going to find somebody. Hani going to get... Well, Chrono comes through, but unfortunately there is no Hani. He buys back. He's Sunstrike. The Rav's going to come through on the back line. They're going to try to burst down G. Can he get off his Yules? No Yules this time. Death War on the high. They bring down Sidoi as well. BZZ out of mana as well, so he's jumping to the right. Jump.
Bash,
and he bashes.
bash.
Number 1. He's going to jump back out. And looks like Tynder's going to come in with a Gush. Jotham's got Fissure. He's going to use it right there. Perfect block, and that should be it for the fight. Maybe they'll lose Jotham as well. Yeah, that's a pretty expensive buyback. Oh, actually, he's fine.
It's not really that expensive, though. Like
Double damage, and off he goes.
You lost your range tracks, and you bought back on Hani. I mean, I think it would have been way worse if Loda was the one who had to buy back, because honestly, the later the game goes, the less reliant Loda is going to be on his team, basically.
Yeah.
Because he'll be able to kill like 2 or 3 heroes on his sphere, right? So the inevitability factor of a Void is extremely scary.
Oh, though, that is nice. That Axon Witch Doctor.
How did he even farm for that?
Because he's just... I mean, how many times has Aki died? He's just died like 6 times. He's died 5 times.
He's got 52 CS, which is actually fairly high for a support at this point.
I think, honestly, it's actually quite easy to farm lanes with the bongos. It's pretty safe. You can sort of chuck it and run.
Hey, man, I saw Total Biscuit do that. Double trouble.
Double
Throw
trouble.
bongos, get CS.
Yeah.
And his CS count twice over LDs.
Yeah. LD, I thought he was going to be better than he was, I'll be honest with you. I remember playing with him way back, and he seemed like a god to me. But no.
Maybe that's just how far you've come, Ted.
Maybe. Shout out to LD. My nuts heading bot here.
You can't use it to break the silence if it causes silence. At that point, you're just interrupting everything.
By the way, I think during that secondary push where they just made, if G had a plate mail there, he survives. He survives long enough to get off his Yules. Hani gets caught out in the time. That's a long death without buyback.
70 seconds.
I mean, they need that Sunstrike to kill G under the Chrono. They gotta either pick him now.
Yeah, but G's alone. The thing is, even if G doesn't die, he has to go all the way around the map to get to his team.
Oh, he'll get there. He's got
I think he'll be fine now with the Witch Doctor role. I don't think the Sunstrike is going to make such a big difference. I think that Witch Doctor role, they can get a 3-man Chronosphere. That is a wipe right there.
All right, well, they're coming in to attest to that. But Hani's out for a long, long time. Batrider's done his job. Found his initiation on Invoker twice now, right?
Yep.
One in the base earlier, one outside the base, and G is... Again, he needs to survive long enough to get off his Yules. Once he does, he is going to deal a ton more damage. Loda jumps in. BKB, there's a Yules preemptively. The Chrono's going to... Actually, no Chrono.
Nope.
Nothing.
They don't have the damage.
There's a Chrono. They find BZZ as well.
Nice
he actually
dodge.
runs away. The Fisher's going to find 3. Echo Slam. They're going to get everybody. Kind of panic Ravage is going to come out, but everybody's already dead. Double buyback comes from the team. There's no time to channel a big Death Ward. And yeah, 2 buyback forced.
Oh, wow. That was perfect for VP. That really was. I could not have gone much better. Double buyback 2.
Where did
managed
it
to
go
finish off
wrong?
the
Because
Rags.
they got 2-man chrono on the course.
They have no damage.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like
So no Hani,
Loda
no
went in.
damage.
He saw that there was like heart, almost BKB on G, and he's like, okay, 2,800 HP. There's no way we're going to be able to burst this down fast enough. But he popped his BKB before he dropped his sphere. Like, you have to use them together. Otherwise, they're worthless on their own, basically. So he's like, okay, well, now that my BKB's worn off and I've sphered, I have to run out of the sphere. Otherwise, I'm going to get Skywrath ulted, and then I'm going to die.
It was
So-
he dodged the Skywrath ult, but then that nice Fisher blink into the
Yeah.
Echo Slam as well. Just so much damage.
Yeah. That was actually, I think, the first point in the game where I've seen like a just pure indecisiveness coming out of Alliance.
Yeah,
like,
it
in
did look
terms of
really indecisive.
How do we actually deal with this? And I mean, if you're going to deal with it, you kind of have to go all in, because even though they didn't lose their whole base, those kinds of fights are just like the last legs that you have to stand on, more or less. Like, they can't do that again. They had one opportunity to make something happen there, and unfortunately, Hani was dead during the base push, so they didn't have the Sunstrike follow-up or Meteor or anything like that. And a bit of indecisiveness hurt them a lot.
Yep. And I'm not sure whether Hani's going to have the same effectiveness that he has now, because Death Prophet just finished the BKB. So now, if he could activate that BKB before all of Invoker spells come down, then you're just simply relying on Void, which right now has, what, Maelstrom, Mask of Madness, and Bloodlust on top of that? Basically max attack speed, but he's just not hitting hard enough for Death Prophet to really care.
Yeah, I think the Death Prophet, though, only has 8 armor, so we have to keep that in mind, which means if Forge Spirits basically attack you, you basically have none.
Sure.
So there is some worry for physical damage, especially with the Witch Doctor ward. I mean, that's why they were able to kill him in the first place. It wasn't the Void's damage, because at that point he only had BKB, Mask of Madness Treads. It was the Witch Doctor ulti that annihilated G.
Yep.
So there is still some worry of being able to get bursted down. It's just a matter of how good the positioning play is. The BKB is probably close to 5 seconds, if not already on Loda, which is also kind of a worry. It basically means as soon as the sphere goes away, it's still 7 actually. That's not too bad.
Sadoy in perfect position to break smokes. And he'll break one right now. Immediate Firefly gaining vision. He's got Blink, and can he blink back out? He actually got hit by the Anchor Smash. Minut's getting focused. Minut's dead. And Sadoy on the right side, jumping back out. Hani is going to pick him up. Why are you laughing, Ted? And now it's Alliance on the retreat. Looks like they're not going to jump for it. But with spells being traded, Chrono and Ravage still available.
Just couldn't hold it.
Oh man,
literally
I'm
could
so
not hold it.
unprofessional. I'm sorry, dude.
It's all right, man. We were all
He knew what he
thinking it.
was saying. I still look at his face. It's too good.
We wanted to laugh with you.
It's too good.
Roshan was successfully repelled, though, for now.
For now, but I think they honestly could just go back in at any point.
I mean, they did lose Batrider, which is the
Well,
best.
the thing is, Alliance didn't actually use anything.
Yeah, they
there.
see Yo. Yeah, Yo's dead, right? Sunstrike Reno?
Yeah.
Blink Anchor.
Bonk.
Wow, bash. First hit bash. That was me playing Skywrath right there. Against every Void player ever.
Yeah.
Or anybody who buys a basher.
Yeah. Nothing quite like the old first hit bash.
Yeah. So, for now, definitely Roshan defended. And they have a ward in the area now, so they'll know whenever VP decide to go back in. The real concern is, like, the middle lane's always pushing, which is very annoying, and that makes your bottom lane extremely unsafe. But I will say that this is probably one of the better points in terms of what vision Alliance has had the whole game. Like, they have vision of the river, they have vision of their forest and the top, so unless you're getting smoked, they're probably going to have some good sense of what's going to be coming their way, which is nice. Because even though there are racks down, Void can definitely come back from a 1 racks.
Yeah.
Like, that's not enough to actually just beat a team
He
with a Void
needs
on it.
time. How long do you think he needs here to get what he needs to
Well, he
do
really
what
needs like a
to
pure
do?
damage item. Like, he needs another item on top of his Maelstrom Mask of Madness to just be able to fully
get?
commit to a hero. And it looks
Actually,
like the
Starless?
choice
Looks like
is
he's
Okay.
going to finish the Mjolnir
Okay.
first.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether that's actually the best choice, because isn't he pretty maxed out on attack speed? When you have Mask of Madness, Midas,
Well,
and
max attack
Bloodlust,
speed's like 500.
400. Is
No,
he
it's
actually
5, I
there?
think. Isn't it?
It's 400 plus your base 100 attack speed.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
So I don't
he's
know.
pretty close now, right? Like 2 max, I imagine.
Yeah, and I would say with the BKB choice on G that the Mjolnir is not going to be quite as good as maybe he would like it. But if you just rely on, I guess, bash damage, then it's okay.
Oh, no. There needs to be a glyph where you
This
can...
exorcism
you
is
can
going to be
glyph
whipped
Roche.
out pretty soon.
Trying to
Roche
delay
wave.
it.
Here it comes.
Chrono, it only gets G. And he's
Oh,
dying
he's
much
still-
faster. He has to run back out. He sees Yo first hit bash, but the Ghost,
Oh,
man,
my
they do so
lord.
much. Minut's is dead.
Oh.
And BZC's on cleanup. That's
Oh, wow.
yeah, that Ravage is.
Gem down.
That's
This is a
actually
team
GG,
wipe.
Wizard
right?
dead. That's it.
That would be, I wouldn't be surprised, actually.
Well, Ghosts are down, so maybe they don't hit towers that fast.
Well, I mean, I think they could just go and get another
I
lane
think
of
they got a
racks
little
here and there.
excited that the Roshan died, but it didn't actually get the Aegis picked up right away.
Oh, so he wanted to steal.
yeah, he thought he might be able to go for a big play, and unfortunately it didn't quite work out. And we just saw pretty much what I was saying during the draft. It's like, if the DP is really farmed and you go in Sphere when ghosts are still on, the ghosts actually just kill you.
Eat you, yeah.
So
They get angry.
there was no real follow-up either. And I think if he had one more damage item, like a crit or something, maybe he would have been able to kill G before he died. But this is going to be the second set of racks here for VP. They still maintain their Aegis and a 16 kill advantage.
Since the Aghanim's picked up on the Witch Doctor, we haven't seen a good ult from Naka yet. I think that's really the reason why.
It's really difficult, man.
Yeah, it is.
You
In
have
this
flame
particular
break,
game.
silences, searing
Fissure.
chains, fissures,
Yeah, the
silences
fissure.
from the Skywrath, like Yules, even on G.
Honestly, that's why I think that a BKB might have been a better shout rather than the Ags first. But because you got the Ags, it's like great.
Oh
but
my
you're never
lord,
going to
that
get the
damage.
chance.
I guess the other way to put it is that VP has been doing an excellent job killing the Witch Doctor before the ultimate kills them.
Here's the question I've got for you, Lumi. Would you rather have the chance to get an amazing ult, but not
I'm
like
risk
basically
averse.
hardly ever?
Risk averse. I
Right,
get
so
BKB.
then you get the BKB. You can at least guarantee an ult, something for God's
But
sake.
here's the thing. That's what Merlini would call loser talk.
That's not loser talk.
Because
That's a
no, no, no.
smart call.
Here's the thing, though. Right now, in this very moment, I would say, great, I'll get the BKB. But 20 minutes ago, when you're trying to first spray up the item, you dream big. You know,
But then you would look at the lineup and you'd say that all the. I mean, it's not like a secret. When Witch Doctor's ulting, he dances. He's like it's easy to spot.
so you're saying need some better foresight.
I say if you're gonna go rush for the Ags, you're gonna suffer.
Okay, fair enough.
But then hopefully the chrono would set it up. But even then, Earthshaker just fishes you from downtown.
You know, here's the thing. If Loda gets a 5-man Chronosphere, they still win the fight.
Oh God, yeah. But that's all you need. Just
That's
the
all
old
you need.
5-man chrono.
5-man Chrono.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
lord.
You can't do it now because
The optimism from Lumi is actually staggering. Like,
Well, I got to balance out the negativity here.
I'm not
negative.
being negative.
I'm not negative. I love everything.
Okay.
Happy man. Here comes Batman. He's gonna come and get somebody. Easy. My nuts caught in a lasso. Meatball!
Okay,
Nice
you know, that's
ravage.
actually great
This is
initiation.
trouble.
They killed BGZ as well, but the Ghost Man on the back line,
Yeah,
or the front
ghosts are
line,
gonna
actually.
mega creeps him.
Yeah, everybody's running away. Ake does
He
not have
has
ultimate anymore.
Aegis. Still got 2 minutes left on
Oh
that.
my
Tide
God.
goes
The
down.
heals.
My nuts covered in fire. That will go down. I can't say anything. It's so stupid.
Can't say anything. Ted 2014. GG's called. That was probably going to be Megas no matter
Yeah.
what. So very well played by VP. I mean, their draft kind of had that looming sense of, okay, we want to actually control the game by around 15 to 20 minutes. And that's more or less, I would say, what we saw. But big congratulations to them. This is, I would say, a needed win after the games they played against MVP a little bit earlier. And for Alliance, I don't think their draft was necessarily bad. I just think that when you give away like map control to a team with the Batrider, Skywrath, it's like it's too easy to get picked off. You kind of have to play together more or less, and when you do that, you don't really get as much out of the map as the other team, and you just kind of slowly just get choked out.
Yeah,
Think
so
we're going to see DP next game? We're going to see it banned out.
I think we're going to see it banned out.
I honestly think the Batrider was the biggest issue they had there. I mean, they did tend to have one hero. It's like, let's put him on his own and he can farm. And you can't do that around Batrider.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the worst feeling, knowing that he's like, he could be here. And then it's tough, like Andy said.
Yeah, I saw one pick off on Hani, force out the buyback. The other
Yeah.
one to clean up on him a second time, and that really got the first racks and then the second.
Yeah, it's like when you're a man down, you could say it's always going to be easier to push in with a Death Prophet, but to be honest, any hero can still help push if you're fighting like an advantaged situation, like 4v5, 3v5, something like that. So I think the Batrider was actually more of a concern on the side of Alliance than maybe even the DP was, because you can deal with a DP. They showed that they had the coordination to actually be like, okay, that one base defense mid where they killed him when he had Aegis, they go in, they Sunstrike, they drop the Death Ward, his Exorcism is done, and they force VP back. Showed they can deal with the DP. That wasn't the problem for me.
Okay.
I have to say, you had on one side you had Ace on the Tidehunter, and they had Seedoy on the Batrider, and every time, or maybe even Jodam on the Earthshaker, like Ace didn't play bad on his Tidehunter, but he could not do so much. Like every time his Blink Dagger got interrupted, every time he couldn't go in for a Ravage because either it was a Fissure or Flame Break knocked him back. There was so much control, or rather preventing Alliance from initiating
Yeah.
on Virtus Pro that they couldn't really do anything.
I think the flame breaks were really big.
They were.
Interrupting Witch Doctor, or like you said, cancelling Tide's Blink just long enough
Yeah.
for everything else to come in and interrupt Void from going on your DP. Yeah, it was a tough game for Alliance.
Yeah.
I regret instantly claiming that they were going to win 2-0.
Well,
They could
okay, Ted.
still 1-1 it. I think they could 1-1 it if they pull it out the bag of Reno.
Well, I mean, I think they didn't play bad by
No,
any stretch.
they
It's
didn't.
just like a lot of the time, I think teams fall into this trap of we have to make sure that we're like maintaining consistent on our farm. We want to make sure that our heroes that need levels are getting levels. Like Hani was the one who was behind in levels for a really long time. And you kind of have to put yourself in danger to try to recover. It's just that VP were like on top of it all the time. They had great vision. The Bat Rider just cleaned up. I mean, to me, it was like Sedoy. That was the story of the game.
Yep.
he had some really good flame breaks, like for me as well.
Yeah.
And the Fishers. I mean, Earthshaker was like 4th pick, I believe.
Yes.
And
yes,
by
that's
that
worth
time,
it.
Witch Doctor was already picked, and Tidehunter was already picked.
Yeah.
So they knew, like, okay, that those Fishers just prevented basically Witch Doctor and Tide from actually performing
Yeah.
their role properly. And it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't bad play from Alliance. It's just like I would
Because you
say
could see, like, when they didn't have that, then things happen and they won fights.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was well played from them.
like, I would almost say like outpicked. I mean, obviously you have to also play well to actually execute. But overall, like you've got this gigantic one-more combo potential on the side of Alliance, but they just never could pull it together because, well, apart from the Aegis kill, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
they
that
did-
was a really good one.
Yeah, but then you're still having to deal with like you don't get anything off the back of it, and that was a
I'm
problem.
also wondering if like Aghanims was really the right choice. Like I still think the book would have been nice because it would have given you more potential to D-ward, which was really important because if you know that you're playing against the bat, vision is like if you don't have vision, the bat is not really that good. So
Yep.
you just D-ward with the book and you don't even have to fight with it. It's just like, okay, we're going to maintain our side of the map and then wait for Loda to actually start getting some items. So, I mean, when he got the Aghanims, what do you say, was level 14?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Have we seen
He was
like a
level
flurry of
13.
spells coming out from
13.
Invoke?
He was level 13.
No.
Okay.
With
That's
I
what
mean,
I thought.
not in
Invoke.
that game.
He was
Yeah.
level 13 with 1 level in Invoke.
Yeah.
That's what he was at.
Yeah, I want to actually ask which one of you was the one that actually said like when Sunsven was casting my nuts, he is very mature. Which one was it? Because
That
you know,
was Ted.
That was
I
actually
didn't
Ted.
say anything of the sort. I don't know what
Oldest
you're
one
talking
here.
about.
I want to
talking about
just
maturity.
take a moment. It's like
Look, it's on a plate, and I'm hungry. I'm going to eat the plate of nuts.
Brilliant.
Cashew or?
I like
Pistachio.
a cashew. I like a cashew, and I love a pistachio. But cashew, king of nuts. Come on.
All right.
okay, well, just wanted to put that out there because oh well, I think we're gonna go into a short break because we have some sponsors that we'd like to thank: Aces and of course Nvidia. Here's some commercials from them. I think.